annual passport lottery. So a little backstory on this. I have a Japanese tutor that I meet with every Monday, and we used to meet in a coffee shop, but I can't do that anymore because the coffee shop we used to meet at closes really early now. So we've now been meeting online. And yesterday, was it yesterday? No, it was Monday. No, Monday. Today's Wednesday. So on Monday, it was literally like 5 minutes before my lesson, and then I got a message from Manai, and she's like, lottery. And I was like, what? And so I'm like frantically like, what's going on? What's going on? And so I go to the website, and I'm like reading the rules for the lottery, and I like read it once, and my mind is like, this is what my mind looked like. All right, so I'm like, all right, I need to calm down. I'm like, calm down. Let's read it again. So I read it again, and I'm like still thinking. I'm like, what? And so I read it one more time, and after the third time, I'm still like, how does this work? I don't get it. And then I had to meet with my Japanese tutor. So I'm like trying to like think about Japanese while also trying to process all of this lottery information that made absolutely no sense. But I think I kind of understand it now. So let's go through and let's talk about this lottery. So for context, you guys probably know this by now because I talk about it pretty much every stream. Annual passport holders like myself, we cannot go to the parks right now. They won't let us in at all. But they are doing a lottery where if we win the lottery, we'll have a chance to go to either Tokyo Disneyland or Tokyo Disney Sea once. And you can't even so you can only go to one park. And this is the part that's crazy. Not only can you only go to one park, I think you can only go once a month, but you have to enter the park after 2 p.m. What is that? You can't even get into the park until like midway through the day. And keep in mind, the parks used to close at 10 p.m. Now they're closing at 8 p.m. So you could only spend a few hours in the park. And we are the annual passport holders. We are the people that are spending a stupid amount of money to visit the parks whenever we please. And like, this is what they're giving. This is the bone they're throwing us. It's crazy. Yeah, you would think that they would make us happy. And I feel like they've been doing nothing but like making us miserable. It's like they're doing like the least amount to pacify us. So let's go over the rules. So I'm gonna go and show you the rules, which, like I said before, they're preposterous. Like, so let us go back. Okay. So let me get this on the screen to show you interwebs. Cool. So let's cover up the schedule. So hopefully you guys can see this. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Okay. It looks like you can see that, right? Okay. So let me read all this. Yes. So they're doing a lottery. Yeah, so if you win, you can enter the park after 2 p.m. on the day of the mission, which is crazy. And so the way it works now is there is a lottery form that you have to fill out, and it's only for it. The lottery form is I can't talk. Maybe they say it better here. It's always for the next month. So, for instance, the lottery form that we fill out for this month, July, is for the ability to visit the parks in August. That means that when we fill out the August form, it will be for visiting in September, if that makes sense. So they have this form up, and luckily it is not first come, first serve, I was worried about that. So that means that this form is open until July 26th. That means at any point between yesterday and July 26th, if you're an annual passport holder, you can enter this lottery online. And so there's no rush to do it. And they are going to announce the winners, the results of the lottery on Friday, July 31st at 10 a.m. So I won't even know if I can go to the parks until Friday at 10 a.m. So that's going to be a very stressful day. Just crossing my fingers, hoping to get it. Yeah, so here are some more of the kind of like weird details. So one of the at least cool things is you can actually register as a group of up to 4 people who are annual passport holders. Meaning, if you have a family and you and your family all have annual passports, you can register all of them together and have one person enter the lottery. Meaning, if that person wins, those other people can then join them, which makes it a lot easier because then you don't have to have multiple people entering the lottery. And so luckily, I am joining a group with Manai and Manai's friend, Yuka-chan. And I'm happy to do that because that means that I didn't have to worry about entering myself. But I think for me, it's probably a better thing to enter with a group because I have a feeling that my chances will likely be higher, especially if I'm entering. I know this is going to sound really weird, but it may be true. I feel like as a foreigner, I personally have a better chance if I'm grouping myself with native Japanese annual passport holders. I know that may sound weird, but things work really weird here in Japan, and there is a lot of bias against foreigners. So I could be completely wrong on that, but I just feel safer if I group myself with some Japanese folks, that being my friends Manai and Yuka-chan. And originally, I had this conundrum because, like I said earlier, you could only choose one park to visit. You can't go to both parks, even if your annual passport allows you to go to 2 parks in a day. You can only go to one park. And this was a conundrum that I faced because my job makes it to where I mostly have to go to Disney Sea. And that's because you can only buy Duffy and Friends merch at Tokyo Disney Sea. And I was feeling a little conflicted because if I had the choice between Disneyland and Disney Sea, based on these restrictions, I'd want to go to Disney Sea to pick up Duffy and Friends merch. However, Manai and Yuka-chan don't want to go to Disney Sea. They want to go to Disneyland. And I'm kind of outvoted 2-1 there. So I was like, oh man, I guess I can just try to go by myself. But then I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? Like, it's kind of sad, right? Like, it's kind of sad if, like, I just go to Disney Sea by myself in this period where it's so hard to go to the parks. And the first time back is going to be kind of like a really cool experience. And to do it alone and just to go to pick up some Duffy stuff and then get out of there, like, it just kind of sounded like kind of depressing. And then I was thinking, and I'm like, you know what? I should just go with Manai and Yuka-chan. Like, I'll have a better chance of going. They even told me that Disneyland has a higher capacity for people to get in. So your chances are actually better of entering or choosing Disneyland because they have more people, so therefore you have more of a chance to get in. So I thought, okay, well, I have more of a chance, and plus I'll get to be with my friends, and we can like take pictures together, we can go on rides together, and it'll just be like more of an enjoyable experience, you know. So I did that. Which I kind of feel a little guilty and selfish for, because usually I put my customers and my business first. But in this instance, I'm sorry, guys. I chose to go with my friends because I'm still gonna buy stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna buy stuff. My primary purpose is still my business, but don't hate me. Don't hate me. I want to be with my friends. I feel so guilty. Oh, why did I say this? Oh, but yeah. But that's what I chose to do, and hopefully I can go with them. And yeah. But luckily, I'm pretty sure that you can buy the new turtle, whatever his name is, Alo, I don't know. Whatever the Duffy turtle is, I believe that you can buy him in the app. So even if I go to Disneyland, I think I can still get his merch. So at least I can do that. But and like I said, they did say that annual passport holders will eventually be able to buy merch in the app without visiting the parks. But we still have no information about that, and I don't know if that includes Duffy merch, and I don't think it will. So, yeah. I think you should do what you're doing too. Well, I'm glad that you guys agree, but hopefully, like, because I know a lot of people are like, I want Duffy stuff, and I feel bad. You know, it's not that like I don't want to get it for them. It's just that it's like things are weird right now. It's not. I look back at the way things were before, and you take things for granted. And I know that that's probably a phrase you've probably heard a million times during this pandemic, but it's just the idea, like, we definitely take so many things for granted. Because I look back at, you know, last year, and I'm like, I can, if I wanted to, I could have gone to the parks like every day, like, and it wouldn't have been a problem. And I could have gone to like both parks like 10 times in a day. And now it's like, I'm crossing my fingers that I can even go once a month, when in a normal last year, or before the pandemic, in a normal month, let's see how many times I would go. So let's say there was no pandemic right now. I would have gone to the parks in this particular month at least 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, at least 10 times. That's not even counting if I had to go for like special merch to get more of it. So to think that in a normal month, I would have gone to the parks 10 times, and now I'm like crossing my fingers that I can go once. It's just like to one park. It's crazy. So let's look at the form. So this is what the form looks like. So here's like all the other details. Like I said, you can only go after 2. Blah blah blah. You have 30 minutes to complete this form. So you put your name in. You put your date of birth. You put your ticket number in. You agree to the privacy policy. And here's how it works. You choose the park you want to go to. So let's just go to, say, Disneyland. And then you have 5. So basically you have 5 choices. And you can choose a different park for each of these 5 choices. So you can choose the parks that you want to go to, and then you have the days. So then you choose, so it goes all the way up till, starts at August 7th and goes up to August 31st. And then you choose the days that you want to go. And like I said, you can choose to have a group with you of up to 4 people. So you can put their ticket numbers in, and you have to know their birthdays, and then you confirm. So that's how it works. Like I said, Manai and Yuka-chan want to go to Disneyland only, so all of the 5 choices are all Disneyland, And they mostly are on Saturdays and Sundays because Yuka-chan can only go on the weekend, which means that if I get selected, I may have to move my weekend stream. But I'm not going to worry about that until we get selected, so it's okay. But yeah. So they do give you 5 chances to win the lottery, which I guess that's like a good thing. But it's kind of annoying as an annual passport holder because I think it costs in US dollars, it's like maybe $850 to $900, which is a lot of money. And like I said, in a normal month, I usually go to the parks 10 times. So if you calculate 10 times a month times 12, obviously I'm making my money's worth on this passport, you know? But considering the fact that I may only be able to go once in a given month, I don't know, man. This price that I'm paying is not looking like it's worth it at all. Especially because they haven't let us buy merch in the app without visiting the parks. So Disney or Oriental Company, because Oriental Company, this is the company that owns Oriental Land Company. They're the company that owns Disney. They need to step it up, and they need to give me and other passport holders some more perks because we're getting screwed here, man. Let us in. So, yeah. So that's the lottery. That's what I have to deal with for the next. I think this will go until October. I feel like I read that somewhere, but I'm not sure where. Maybe it's on here? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when this lottery ends, but man, it's brutal. And next month I think is going to be even harder because next month's lottery will be September, and that is Halloween time, the best time of the year because that is when people get to dress up in costumes. However, they haven't announced whether or not they will be doing the costumes this year. I want to say they will be, but considering that everything is messed up right now, it would not surprise me at all if they do not let people do costumes this year. So, and if that's the case, that is a huge bummer because it's such a fun thing to look for when you visit during Halloween time is all of the amazing costumes. So, I haven't been looking at the chat, by the way. So let's. What is all the? I keep on getting these spam emails on my personal account. Come on, Gmail, up your spam game. What are you doing, man? Yeah. They better be giving you guys a refund or a huge discount next year. I think they are what they are doing is I think they are they're extending our expiration date. So it's effectively like basically I guess it's going to be like maybe March, April, May, and June. March, April, May, and June. March, April, May, June. So maybe it'll give us like a 4-month extension, which will sort of make it worth it, but I don't know. We'll see. Your annual passport ends on Thanksgiving. Wow, on Thanksgiving. How about that? Open a day for annual passport only. See, you would think that they would do something like that, right? But they're not. And I think part of the problem is that Disney fans here are just so hardcore that if they did something like that, it'd be like madness. I mean, it already is madness, but I don't know, man. I mean, they can do something like, I guess in Disney World in America, it's different because there's 4 parks. So it's so big and the capacity is so big. So you can it's easier to pacify all of the passport holders in Disney World, whereas here in Tokyo there's only 2 parks. So I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think about how they decided to do this, and I've learned that trying to figure out their mentality is it's often frustrating because there's a lot of things that make perfect sense and they do the complete opposite. So yeah, so we'll see. So that is that's the annual passport lottery. So like I said, I entered through my friends. So hopefully I'll win. So I'll know on July 31st, which is a Friday. So my weekend stream, I should be able to tell you guys if I got in or not. So cross your fingers for me. Hopefully I'll get in.